Thursday, I guess. We were looking at rational expressions and just simplifying them. So we have multiplying and dividing rational expressions. But today we're going to add and subtract. So the difference between an equation and an expression is just something you have to simplify and make it into its smallest term. It's like reducing a fraction. An equation means that you're going to actually have to do that and solve for your values at that point. So today it's just simplifying and adding and subtracting a rational expression. Now because we're still using polynomials, you still have to find non-permissible values. So that's the first thing that you want to do in every question. So let's start by looking at page 253 and A. All right, well first of all, let's start like this. Let's add 2/3 and 1/5 together.
Factor 3 and 5. Factor.
13/15.
We got 13/15. Okay, so what's the first thing you had to do?
Get them to the same denominator.
Right, I have to get a common denominator, right? So one of the ways to get a common denominator is just to multiply the two denominators together. Okay? Now most times you want to hope that it's not that you can find one that's a little bit smaller, but in this case that's what it is. Okay, so it's 3/5. So I want to do this the long way so that you can understand when I look at polynomial expressions as to what. So I have to multiply this 3 by 5 in order to get to my common denominator. So whatever I do to the bottom, I got to multiply it by the top as well, right? So I have 2 by 5 up there. And on this one, I'm going to multiply the 1 by 3 because that's what's missing down here on the denominator.
If
Right.
you factor
And I'm not factoring anything.
25,
Lucas.
it is the same.
Lucas.
Okay.
Okay? So now what do I have? I have 10/15 plus 3/15, which is equal to 13/15. Okay? So you're right. Good job. Okay, so the whole point of this part, though, is to see what we have to do when it comes to using polynomial expressions in which we get larger denominators. So the first example of this is 2x plus 4 over x squared minus 9. Add 7x minus 10 over x squared minus 9. So the very first thing you have to do with all of these is what? Not yet. Before that.
Restriction?
Restrictions, that's right. So my restrictions are what can't equal 0? X squared minus 9, right? X minus 3x plus 3 equals 0. X cannot equal 3 and -3. Okay? So there's the first thing that I need to do. Now, I get a common denominator. What's the common denominator between the two? X squared minus 9 is our common denominator. So now I'm adding 2x plus 4, add 7x minus 10. And I'm going to get 9x minus 6 over x squared minus 9. Okay? Again, I have a fraction that may not be in lowest terms. So in order to get it into lowest terms, I am then going to attempt to factor this to see if I can get it into lowest terms. So what is this factor to? 9x minus 6. What's it factor to? What's the first rule of factoring? What do you do? Greatest common factor. What's the greatest common factor there? 3. So if I take the 3 out, what am I left with? No, I'm left with, I did it wrong as well, 3x minus 2. What is the bottom factor to? All right, can I cancel anything out? No. So there's your answer. This and this. is all part of your answer. You have to add your restrictions to your solution. It's necessary. Okay? Alright. So that one was easy because we have the same denominator. So let's look at another one with the same denominator. 10a plus 5 10a plus 5 over ab. Add.
It's actually subtract.
Is it subtract for the subtract?
3a subtract 2.
Oh, subtract right here. Okay, next.
Mm-hmm.
Minus 3a minus 2
Yeah.
over ab. Okay, what are the restrictions?
0 ab.
A and B
Not equal
different 0.
For me?
A different 0, B different 0.
A can't equal 0, B can't equal 0. I agree. Okay, good. So now when I subtract them, this is what I have. 10a plus 5 minus 3a subtract 2 over ab. Where's the error that gets made? 100% of the time the error is made by not distributing that negative through the bracket. Okay, that is the error that you will make. So we're going to try and avoid that. So 10a subtract 3a is 7a. 5 subtract negative 2. A subtract to a negative is an add. Add 2. 5 add 2 is 7. Right? 7 a plus 1 over ab, where a can't equal 0, b can't equal 0. Okay? Okay, well, let's do one now and let's finish. Page 254. Let's do B. So I have 6x over x minus 5 minus 240 over.
X squared subtract 2x subtract 15.
Thank you. Okay? And it already told us what our restrictions are. It says x cannot equal negative 3 and 5, right? So we didn't even have to do that. So the first thing I want to do is I want to see if I can factor to find out what my common denominator is. Okay, so let's go back to the very essence of the first question. What is the common denominator here?
X minus 5.
Let's go back, let's go back, let's go back. What did I do up here? What was my common denominator?
3 times 5.
3 times 5. This is why I do it this way.
All 3 factors.
So what is the common denominator here?
X minus 5 times x minus 5 times x plus 2.
That's right. Okay, so what is the common denominator? It's this times this. Alright, I have to have everything that's on the bottom. So what is this one missing that's not in here?
The x plus 3.
X plus 3. So I'm going to take 6x times it by x plus 3 on top minus 240, and all of that is over x minus 5, x plus 3. Okay? So whatever I'm missing, this is how I think of it, whatever I'm missing here, like out of here, that's what I got to multiply the top and the bottom by right here. Okay? So that gives me 6x squared plus 18x minus 240 over x minus 5, x plus 3. Okay? What's the very first thing I should do here?
Greatest common factor.
Greatest common factor. Is there greatest common factor there?
6.
What is it?
6.
6. Right? So I take a 6 out. I'm left with x squared plus 3x plus subtract 80, right? No. sorry, 40.
Alright.
40. X minus 5, x plus 3. Okay, move to the next page here. So what does that factor down to? Okay, so x squared plus 3x subtract 40. 8 and 5 are the factors that add to give me 3. Need a plus 8 and a minus 5. Right? And then can I cancel anything on my fraction?
Yeah.
There. So what's my final solution? 6. X plus 8 over x plus 3, where x cannot equal negative 3 and 5. Alright? The difference between equations and expressions is just simplifying like this. Equations would tell you have this equal to something, like equal to 0 or equal to a number, and then you have to solve it after that point. Alright, and that's 6.4. So what I've done today is just 6.3 in expressions. Okay? So I'm not going to go any further than that today. I do want you to finish to the end of 6.3 for tomorrow though. Alright? And if you, again, if you're confident and you're good and you get through it, then go on to 6.4. Don't feel you have to do every question, because there are a lot of them, and we're doing the exact same thing in the next section. We're just going to add that one element of you got to solve it at the end. Okay? Any questions from 6.1 and 6.2? I was away on Friday, so. Anybody have any questions? 6.1, 6.2? Okay.